I mean, we should be talking about one of the reasons why young people are coming in is because they're saying this is our future.
Well, but how do you talk about performance when the door is not open?
We haven't seen good governance, you know, just the way we'll want it. And that's the reason why we think we should be in this. After all, it's our future. So shouldn't the focus then should be on performance? I mean, some people are saying you should have tagged this not too young to perform.
Well, when we, again, not too young to run promotes competence, capacity, and integrity, because of the quest and what Nigerians actually want, and what Nigerians really want, and young Nigerians, is innovative, responsive, and accountable leadership that can address the challenges that bedevil us. But the argument we make is you've got a population that can provide this excellent public leadership that we desire, but you've got a legal framework that excludes them. Can we address this challenge by removing these gaps so these folks can get into the political space and then contribute to development? So that's it. You can't talk about performance if you've not opened the gates.
How much of an exclusion is it? Because we have heard that, you know, young people in this country, oftentimes their priorities are not really about, you know, politics. In many instances, it's about the economy. They want to finish school, get a good job, settle down, and oftentimes before they become, you know, really politically aware, they are already around the ages which the Constitution already prescribes. So why are we looking for a reduction in age right now, as if that were really the priority of many young people today?
So let's look at the political economy question. The political economy of Africa and Nigeria shows that the state is powerful. The state determines what you eat. The state determines what you wear. The state actually determines everything. And therefore, as citizens, we must get interested in the state. Because often, when you talk about jobs, politics is everything. You need the leaders who are either in the executive or in the legislature, who legislate, who make laws, who review, amend our laws that provide that enabling environment for either industrialization or a very efficient tax system, or even provide that framework for a very strong public sector. Now, you can't talk about addressing unemployment if the state does not perform its function and its role. But those who ought to contribute are not in that space. Just look at the National Assembly, or even our State House of Assembly, for instance. The most potent economic policy tool of every government is the budget. Now, the budget is presented by the executive, and it's presented by the executive to the legislature, and the legislature actually considers this budget. And there are appropriations that are earmarked for different sectors of our economy.
And some people talk about
if you don't have young people who are able to view and review and criticize our policies using the youth lenses in a way that no segment of our society is excluded, then you do have a challenge. And that is the challenge that we have, because you don't have voices of young people in the National Assembly, in our State House of Assembly, who are not just representing youth interest, but have also got a commitment to excellent public leadership. And at the foundation of this isn't about whether we should have young people because we want to have young people for representation's sake. No, it's about the fact that you've got a competent social category that you need to drive public governance.
Let me quickly take you up on this one. Cost of running elections, which is part of the issues people say that young people will face. And this quote is from aspilosfoundation.org.ng. It says a 2015 research paper into the cost of politics shows the exorbitant costs that come with wanting to serve the nation. To run for office, the current president paid a whopping 27.5 million naira, 2.5 million for expressive interest, and 20 million naira for a nomination fee. The opposition candidate paid 22 million naira. In a country where the minimum wage is 18,000 naira a month and 70% of the population live below poverty line, it's difficult to see how the office of the president is a realistic ambition for the average citizen, talk less of a young person. So I'm just wondering, again, back to the question, is age really the barrier?
There are several barriers. Age is one of them. And with this amendment, it will address, to a large extent, one of the key challenges. Well, of course, the cost of politics, it's very, very high, and that's something that we need to address. I find it really funny when people say there are a lot of young people who don't have the resources to run their campaigns. And I beg to differ, because there are lots of young people who are doing excellently well when you talk about business. There are a lot of young people who are willing to commit and their resources and support young people who have competence, who have content and character to actually hold public office. We've got young people who have also tested the waters and they've received massive support.
You've heard the allegations, sorry to interrupt you, but you've also heard the allegations that part of the reason why you have received support from quite a sizable number of politicians is because they're looking to hand the baton to their children.
Well, again, if the children of the politicians are qualified and they've got what it takes, we cannot criminalize their political ambition, because that's not democracy. The voters need to decide who they want. And that's why not too young to run will become a farce, will become an effort in futility. If young people or qualified registered voters don't go collect their permanent voters card for those who are registered and those who have not registered to go get registered. Because at the end of the day, it's the votes that actually count. And so as we advocate for a reduction of age and also inspiring young people to run for office, we're also telling them, you need to collect your permanent voter's card. You need to be a registered voter. Else, this whole demography that we claim is in our advantage will be nonsense, or will be to a great extent not even worthy of attribution at the end of the day.
I'm just wondering, what do you look to see in the immediate future if this bill does become law?
A lot of young people who have content and character will aspire to provide excellent public leadership. We will see more young people actually turn out to register and collect their permanent voter's card and go vote at elections.
Are you sincerely looking to, just wondering, are you honestly looking to see, is it in the 2019 elections, or is this something you're looking to see, say, 5-10 years from now?
So we're creating a foundation, and for the 2019, we're looking at the State House of Assembly and the National Assembly, and getting more younger people into the State House of Assembly so we can disrupt national politics a bit. We're tired of the fact that excellence and results is not the driving ideology when it comes to public leadership. And informed by that, a lot of young people who, for me, are actually the third force. The real third force is actually young people, and I've committed to ensure that we build a country that serves the common good and serves the interest of the common man.
Well, Samson Todo, thank you for coming on Hard Copy.
Always a pleasure, and thanks so much.
Well, we also received quite a buzz from you from our program with Peace Corps Commandant Dixon Ako, which aired last week. Well, we'll take a few of them now. Olatunde says Mr. President should rescind his decision on Peace Corps or override. It's a youth-driven organization that's meant for youth orientation. I also got this one from Jude Ubome, who says, of recent, this same organization told our members to pay 10,000 naira each. What was it for? And then this one says, this is from Christian Ike, says, based on what I knew and what I heard tonight from the national commandant of the organization, it has in no way overlapped the mandate of the existing agencies. It solely aims at developing and productively engaging the pool of unemployed youths. It's needed. Of course, I also got this very long mail from Uthman Hafiz, but time will not let us take it now. We thank you so much for sending your mails and tweets, and we ask that you also help send yours to the handles showing on your screen. That's our program tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf. Good night.